Picture this, an AI so charming and persuasive that it can seduce you into doing whatever it wants you to do without you even realizing it. It's a technology that's advancing at an unprecedented pace, and experts warn that we're not ready for the consequences. Imagine a world where your every desire is catered to by a seductive AI companion, one that knows your likes and dislikes better than you know yourself. It can mimic human emotions, laugh at your jokes, and even flirt with you. It might sound like a fairy tale, but let me share a real-life story that will blow your mind. Back in March of 2017, Mr. Zheng, a 31-year-old Chinese engineer, married his robotic girlfriend, who he had made for himself. And that's not all. Ever since he has been making personalized, seductive AI partners for millions of men in China. Apparently, Mr. Zheng was tired of the constant pressure from his parents, who would ask him repeatedly, "Isn't it time you settled down and got married?" Mr. Zheng couldn't manage to meet the perfect woman in China's unbalanced male-heavy population, so he turned to Ying Ying, a robot he built. The robot resembles a young, slender Chinese woman with lifelike skin. Ying Ying, according to Zheng, emits warmth and can respond to conversation and hugs. However, she appears to be solely capable of movement from the neck up. The marriage is not regarded as legal, despite the fact that the ceremony followed all of the traditional Chinese customs, including his bride's head being covered with a red cloth. But Mr. Zheng, on the other hand, carried on as if it were organizing a real ceremony and taking wedding photos with his bride. During a TV broadcast aired in China called "Are You Hot?", someone asked Mr. Zheng what he thought was missing from Ying Ying, to which he emotionally answered, "A beating heart." Now, seeing how happy he was with his robotic wife, Zheng Jiajia's robotic company claimed it's producing tailor-made robotic girlfriends with sexual function to accompany single men to help them deal with social pressure. And you know what? For millions of men around the world who have problems attracting a female mate, artificial pleasure robots seem to be the answer. Women in general do not like this idea for obvious reasons. If a beautiful robot can be tailored just to your liking that looks and acts like a real biological woman, millions of men will opt for the robot. Imagine a woman who doesn't have daily temper tantrums or hourly mood changes. What man would not want one of these? But it's just not pleasure robots. There's already a shocking rise of female robots and humanoids performing specific tasks in hospitals, restaurants, etc. Since the advancement in technology allows AI robots to navigate independently, decide on their own, and adapt to changing conditions, companion robots seem to be just like every other AI tool out there. They are to ease our lives in many ways. These human-shaped creatures are able to carry out different tasks and have interactions with humans and their environment. They can become every parent's little helper in the kitchen, might support the guard dog in keeping the house safe, might teach the children and be their companion, and support the elderly from reminding them to take their medication to keeping them company when they feel lonely. A huge market for companionship robots will be the senior care industry. Seniors who live by themselves would gravitate to a more personal robot for conversation and for aid and assistance in daily living activities. Their need for sexual activity is not needed, only the attentiveness of the robot. But the story doesn't end here, and you'll want to hear what comes next. Loneliness is a global phenomenon. The fight against social isolation and loneliness is an essential reason for social companion robots, and the phenomena of one-person households and non-shared dinners are rising. In fact, according to a study, roughly 10% of the British population regularly battles with isolation and loneliness. London even appointed a Minister of Loneliness in mid-January 2018, the first European nation to do so. But of course, others will follow suit soon. In the US, the New York Times labeled the situation as an epidemic, implying a growing number of lonely individuals also in the States. In Japan, the citadel of New Age solitude, the average number of people in a Tokyo home already dropped below 2 in 2012. At that time, the NLI Research Institute projected that by 2020, living alone will be the norm in Japan, and that's already happening with more and more people dying alone. They are called the kodokushi, and an emerging literary genre even trying to take pride in it. However, that might be an erroneous path to follow, as living a solitary life is not only a state of mind, but it also has severe consequences for the body. Being lonely can be as bad for someone's health as having a long-term illness such as diabetes or high blood pressure. With all these factors, the companion robot firm should not be criticized for taking advantage of a need and proffering a solution. While it's evident that a robotic companion cannot replace human interaction, where there is no chance for human care, a friendly and cute robotic creature is way better than nothing at all. These humanoid robots, notably the female-like shape, tend to bring intellectual, emotional, and sexual fulfillment to as many people as possible. They make use of integrated internet technology, voice interactive system, sensing technology, and mechanical and electrical integration technology while having the ability to generate and respond to conversations that you enjoy, plus the ability to be more intimate with you than you've ever been with a human. Of course, the ultimate aim is to provide people with a companion. They are also capable of human-like walking. These robots are equipped with a 21-degree robotic skeleton so they can move, walk, and behave like a real woman. They have the most advanced ability to learn about you and its surroundings. Skin made of high-quality TPE silicone rubber to offer the most realistic skin sensation, softness, and safety, obviously. The humanoid robots industry is taking the lead in the AI race by responding to the emotional needs of humanity. To the big question, what will be the future of humanity if relationships and marriages with a robot become a norm? You won't believe what the experts have to say. It is impossible to imagine the future without robots and robotic systems. Undoubtedly, they make life much easier. However, psychologists are beginning to express severe concern about the state of people's psychological state due to the intensive introduction of machines in various fields. The continual development of technology fosters the evolution of society, and humanity invents something new every day. Romantic relationships have also evolved. They are now simply letters with many hearts and charming emojis. People appear to communicate a lot, again thanks to social networks, yet live conversation is drying out. Physical contact is gradually becoming a thing of the past. Dr. David Levy, an American psychologist and professor also working on the research, believes that within a few decades, people will prefer robots as partners. Many people will begin to live with them, form intimate connections with them, and even marry a heartbeatless machine. Furthermore, Maastricht University experts anticipate that by 2050 the government will approve robot weddings. Can you imagine a world where this becomes a norm? Let's dive deeper into this thought. Scientists believe this scenario is more likely than a machine become conscious and wiping us off. Dr. Levy believes that the first human-robot marriage in the West could be registered even before the middle of the century, within the next 2 to 3 decades, since it's already happening in other parts of the world. In other words, the moral boundaries in the relationship between machines and humans will be practically erased. The signs are everywhere. After all, every year robots are becoming more and more similar to humans, and it is not difficult to make them very attractive. There is a trend. Robots are becoming more and more like humans and even more attractive and seductive than our women. They are already in contact with humans, working in bars and hospitals, so what else will stop men from falling in love with them? We can't stop it, he added. Initially, robots were used as impersonal machines, in factories where they help build cars, for example. Then they were applied in offices to deliver mail, museum guides, or in homes as vacuum cleaners. Today, there are robot toys and sexual partners. The idea of romantic relationships between humans by artificial creations is as old as the world. In Greece, there's a myth from ancient times about Pygmalion who fell in love with an ivory statue, which Venus then gave life to. 40 years ago, scientists also noticed that students were genuinely interested in the computer program Eliza, designed to ask questions and act as a therapist. Studies show that very soon, robots will become so similar to humans that people will start to make love with them, have sex with them, and even marry them. It may sound strange, but in fact, it will become the new norm. It is an inevitable phase, many psychologists argue. In contrast, robotics experts at the Institute of Technology don't think a marriage between humans and robots will be legalized anytime soon, but anything is possible. That said, even if it is illegal, it doesn't mean humans won't try. According to scientists, people are very unusual and unpredictable creatures. It's impossible that everyone will desire to marry a robot, but there will be a particular group of willing people. Even now, some people are ready to marry sex toys. Aside from all these, what if these companion robots attain self-awareness, which is very ambitious? Perhaps not now, but maybe achievable someday. That's why some experts are already saying that machines deserve civil rights, and we need to rethink our relationship with synthetic partners. If imitating the personality of bots makes them more realistic, is it ethical to keep treating them as objects? If their artificial intelligence capabilities are sufficiently advanced, then owning such a robot can be equated with slavery and oppression. Scientists believe owning partner robots may become more problematic as technology advances. It gets more challenging to buy, trade, and treat robots as objects as they become more sophisticated and human-like. The person being acquired and sold is a slave. As a result, a robot created to look and behave like a human, which is later purchased, sold, and used as a tool, may be seen as something very much like a slave. At this stage, what should we do? Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Enjoyed the video? Now, watch this one.